YouTube, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of Ahead of the Game Podcast. I have another Raiders reaction for you guys. Just seen them play the Bears. Don't forget to like, subscribe, make sure the notifications are on. And let's get right into what I saw. First, I want to start off with I owe Derek Carr. Derek Carr, I owe you an apology. I owe you an apology because I didn't know what I had until it was gone. You held this team together. You put this team on your back for years, and I didn't know what I had until you left. We haven't had any consistent quarterback play until you left, so I owe you an apology. But I've always told everybody that Geno Smith is a nice comeback story, way to revitalize your career, way to come back, way to come back in this league, the NFL. But I've also said he's really not a good quarterback that's going to lead your team to wins. I have tweets dating back to 2022, 2023 when he was first up and coming, when he was doing his thing, saying that, okay, it's a nice comeback story, but he's not leading your team to victories. You know what I mean? He's just throwing the ball everywhere, just throwing it. And he's staring down his reads. Even I can see it. He's staring down his first, second read. You know what I mean? And tonight showed that. Today showed that. You pretty much spotted them 12 points because shout out to the defense. They held them to field goals after starting with hella field position on our side and scoring position. And you pretty much spotted them 12 points. And we lost by 1 point. The big reason we lost this game today was the quarterback play. The defense played lights out. I'm going to say it again. The defense played lights out. And I'm going to get to the defense right now. I don't blame the defense because there's no way that you hold them to that many field goals and they had that good a starting position on damn near every one of their possessions in the first half and you hold them to field goals. Again, this is a quarterback league. You're not going to hold these quarterbacks to that many field goals every possession. So that last possession where they go down, they get a touchdown, it was bound to happen. You know what I mean? It's a game of adjustments. You're not going to keep holding good to okay teams. You're not just going to hold them to no touchdowns. That's not going to happen. And again, the defense played well. They got pressure rushing for. Max Crosby wrecked the game. They couldn't run the ball. And the defense played lights out. Let's go to offense. Offense, we finally proved that we can move people. And we want to move people. And I think it was the Jackson Powers Johnson effect. You put him in that lineup, he's a mauler. He wants to move you. He wants to dominate you. And that type of play goes around the whole offensive line. So today proved that we might have the offensive line to run the fucking ball. And after today, I 100% trust this coaching staff. I 100% trust Pete Carroll because after all the scrutiny of last week not being able to run the ball, Ashton Jeanty might be a bust. What did they do? They made an effort to run the ball, get him involved, and unleash him, and he was unleashed today. So for everybody saying that Pete Carroll, it's time to make some change, I don't think it's time to make changes. I think this coaching staff is perfect the way it is because it's all about adjusting in a long 17-game season. And they adjusted. We were able to move people, we were able to run the ball, do whatever we do, dominate the line of scrimmage. The difference in this game was the quarterback play. That was the big difference in the game. Quarterback play and turnovers. Caleb Williams threw an interception, but it was a hell of a play by Max Crosby. You can't be mad at that. You cannot be mad at him making just Max Crosby being the all-pro that he is. And just Geno Smith throwing the ball into traffic and telegraphing his passes. That's what he did. He's staring down where he wants to throw the ball. And I can see it watching it on TV. I'm like, he's not even trying to move the safety. He's not. He's just staring him down. Kevin Byard was in a deep third. He left his deep third to pick him off twice and left a streak running straight down the middle of the field because he's staring him down. And that was the big difference in this game. Again, I've always said Geno Smith is an okay quarterback, but he's not going to lead your team to victories. He's not. You cannot put the ball in his hands and say, go get us a win. And that's going to be the story of this season. We have not had consistent quarterback play since Derek Carr. And if you go back and look what Derek Carr had to deal with, you would be like, damn. I would take Derek Carr right now over Geno Smith. I'm not even lying to you right now. I like Geno Smith. I think he's an okay quarterback. But the passes that he's throwing and getting intercepted is insanity to me. And you wasted the Ashton Jeanty breakout game. The Max Crosby wreck-it game. This loss is on Geno Smith. And I don't care about, oh yeah, I got to do better, man. I got to go watch the film, man. You've been saying that for the past 2 weeks. Now it's going to be the last 3 weeks that I got to go get better, man. I'm just focused on wins. You're telegraphing your passes, man. And again, I think I love the story. I love the comeback story. I love the revitalization of your career and making stuff happen. But you can't put the ball in his hands and say, go win us a football game. If you look at that last drive when it was 25-24, Dylan Laube, he gets a return to the 40-yard line. Chip Kelly and the coaching staff did not trust him after that game because there was nothing down the field. There was no passes down the field. Everything was a screenplay, and then the Bears knew that they were going to run the ball on third down because they knew they didn't have any faith in him in that last drive. That last drive was the easiest drive for any other quarterback. That's starting on the 40-yard line with 1:30 left and need a field goal to win the goddamn game. And they didn't trust him to throw the ball after all those picks that he threw. Again, the big difference was Geno Smith, and I don't know what they do. I mean, I don't want a Kenny Pickett. I don't want Kenny Pickett in the game. Do you just go with Geno Smith for the rest of the year and just say, hey, it is what it is? We're 1-3. He's thrown damn near 8 picks in 4 games. I don't even know the direct number, but it's gotten bad. He's losing us games. He lost the Ashton Jeanty Unleashed game, the Max Crosby wreck-it game, man. This game was winnable. This game shouldn't even been fucking close. You spotted them 12 points with 3 interceptions, dude. And the thing that kills me, it's not like he was under any pressure. He had clean pockets. I can see if he was the pressure, if the pocket was getting pushed, he was getting edge pressure. He was not getting pressured at all, and he was throwing them picks. This game, it's a team sport. Football is a team sport. This game is solely on Geno Smith. The defense played lights out. Offensive line, you can't blame them. Clean pocket, Ashton Jeanty dinner for 200 yards. What was the big difference in this game? Turnovers. And that fumble that Ashton Jeanty had, it was a fumble, but it was already 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and they already stuffed the run. And at this point, I'm to the point where I just want to draft a quarterback until you hit on one. That's where I'm at with this shit, dude. There's no difference. Right now, the quarterback play is not no different from Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew in there. There's no difference. There is not one bit of difference in quarterback play from last year. It's not. Again, very winnable game. Should have won the game. The difference was the turnover ratio. And the game could have been 42-0 because they started on our 20 to 30 yard line on 3 of their 4 possessions, and the defense held them to field goals. It's just, I'm to the point now where 1-3. I'm not gonna say the season is over, but you look at the schedule, you look at our division. It's gonna be tough to come back from a 1-3, 1-3 record at this point. Got a tough schedule, but again, I'm gonna get off of Geno Smith and let's talk about the positives. The offensive line You can't say enough about them. They ran the ball. Hopefully Colton Miller isn't as bad, and it who knows at this point. And when shit hits the fan, it just gets worse. But the positives were we ran the ball. Ashton Jeanty had a hell of a game, an unleashed game. And they proved that they can move people. They have the toughness, and I don't know if that's just because it was the Bears or if they just really, okay, we're gonna run the ball. We know what we got to do. We know the mistakes that we made, and it was a hell of a run game today. Defensively, I can't say anything bad. I can't say anything bad about the defense. Even on that last drive where they drove down the field, we still had 1:34 to go on the 40-yard line. Again, I can't say anything bad about the defense. You can't say anything bad about the defense. Well, I can't. They did everything they had to do, and more at that. Did everything they had to do and picked up the slack for the offense. But at this point, as a Raider fan, I don't know where to go. Again, I would take Derek Carr over Geno Smith right now. I would take him over Geno Smith. Come out of retirement. I don't care. I can't deal with this shit no more, dude. He's blatantly throwing the ball into coverage where a deep third safety is leaving his deep third and coming down and picking the ball off because you're staring down the receiver you want to throw to. He did that twice to you today. Left his deep third to pick you off and left a streak wide open because you're telegraphing your passes. Again, offensive line, hell of a job. Defense, all around, hell of a job. The difference in this game was turnovers. The difference in this game was quarterback play. One quarterback made more mistakes than the other quarterback, and that is the name of the game. All my Raider fans, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear your guys' opinion on Geno Smith. I want to hear your guys' opinion this week. Again, another episode, Head of the Game Podcast. Like, subscribe, and again, all my fans, even if you're just a regular football fan, what is your opinion? I want to hear from you guys. I love talking to you guys. Appreciate you guys for listening to me, listen to my rant about the Raiders. On the next one.